friends. It's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's Kelly. It's the citywide special. The Eagles dropped their third game in a row, losing to the Seahawks on Monday night. Sean Desai is moved to the booth in a bizarre move that places Matt Patricia as the defensive play caller. Landon Dickerson undergoes thumb surgery. Avonte Maddox returns to practice. Can the Birds get things together in time for another playoff run, or is the team truly hopeless? The Flyers win back-to-back games against the Red Wings and Devils, and are now on a 9-game point streak. Sam Urson continues to impress in Carter Hart's absence. The Orange and Black currently sit at second place in the Metro. The Sixers come out flat and lose to the Bulls, snapping a 6-game win streak. However, they bounce back with a statement win against the first-place Timberwolves on Wednesday. Joel Embiid puts up 51 points against the league's best defense. A new straw poll puts the star center at the top of the MVP race. The Phillies have officially made a contract offer to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Can the Japanese hurler be convinced to come to Philly? All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good. Back again for another week. Slightly depressed, even more so, not just because of the winter time, because the Birds just continue to let me down. But on a lighter note, my boy Diego, congrats, just became a father, had a baby last night at 9 o'clock.
Shout out Diego.
Little
I don't know you.
Matthew Francisco Ramirez, 10-pound baby.
Damn.
Big,
That's a big
fucking
baby.
bowling ball came
Damn.
out. Yeah,
That was
so
like
okay?
shout out to Kim, because that's impressive in itself right there. But
No C-section?
I don't know.
Straight up?
He didn't give me the details, but he said everybody's good, mom's happy, the baby's healthy and happy also, so that's all I really cared about at that point, but I'm sure we'll hear more details as the years unfold.
Word. Well, shout out Diego. Cheers to you. I'll meet you at some point here in the near future, probably. But yeah, life's decent over here. This cold weather, I don't quite agree with. Lips have been getting chapped.
Yeah.
Skin's been
the
getting
worst
dry. I
time.
don't be messing with that.
Do you leave chapstick wherever you need it in different places so that you always have access to it?
I always keep that thing on me, but so here's what
I don't be caught lacking.
Nope. But here's the problem, though, right? Here's the problem is this morning I put it on before work because I knew I had a bunch of meetings and like my lips were all dry and like cracking. So I'm like, all right, I can't be on like Zoom just messing with my mouth the whole time. So I put it on, but then I made some tea and ate some breakfast and it washed it all off.
Damn.
I had to put it on again. It was just so annoying. That's why I don't deal with cold weather like this. Bring back springtime. No need for chapstick.
My lips don't get that bad. My hands get like really.
Yeah.
My hands get dry to the point where they start like bleeding because I just like neglect them.
Yeah.
But
They start splitting. My fingertips split.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
but like I like Neutrogena hand lotion is
Shout out
like
our
it's,
first sponsor.
like the best. It's like yeah, that stuff rules. So
Well, you guys, it's the winter solstice today, so
Longest
this is the
night?
shortest day.
Oh yeah,
Shortest
Yeah,
day of the
yeah.
year.
So
Yep.
it's about to get better every day after today.
I think they said by like the end of the end of January, the sun will start to go down at like 5:30.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it was like 4:37 or 4:45 was when it started to get dark out tonight, which was ass.
You don't even get me started. Listeners, everyone knows how I feel about shorter days.
yeah, this is something that has to get mentioned at least once.
Yeah, this gets mentioned
Really?
almost every episode.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
and for the
Still
record,
on the warpath against daylight savings time.
I remembered what I didn't remember what my therapist called seasonal depression, but Dean, shout out Dean, DFOP, dear friend of the pod, said that it is seasonal affective disorder,
Yeah,
that's
appropriately
right.
named
Sad.
as sad. So yeah, everyone is very sad this time of year, both literally and figuratively. But
I like to mix it up and call it the winter doldrums, you know, just to make it sound nicer. But
It's more festive.
it's,
Yeah.
it's not as depressing.
yeah,
It sounds like a winter happy hour.
yeah,
Seasonal doldrums.
yeah.
Sounds like a good drink.
Yeah.
It might already. Well, isn't there one like the elephant delirium?
I don't know.
So,
I know what you're
Isn't
talking
that
about.
just
Yeah.
a beer though?
I think it's just
yeah,
called
it is a
delirium.
beer.
I think it's just called delirium, and it has like a pink elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Unrelated
yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
It's one of those like fancy Belgian ale.
Well, we're talking cocktails
things.
though. We're not talking.
Yeah, that's
just
what I'm
beer.
thinking.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what
yeah.
would the winter doldrums cocktail be?
Something stiff?
Yeah.
Just
I don't know why it sounds like it'd be like a. I don't know why it has like a gin sound to it. Doldrum makes it sound like. I don't know. I don't know. You know, there's no bad ideas here.
See, I'm thinking it's like
I said he was like, oh,
no,
ew.
I'm thinking it's hot chocolate.
Ew,
Like,
what?
yeah, hear
Some
me
like
out.
vodka?
Nah.
Okay.
A little like brandy, like some Hennessy. We'd appreciate a sponsorship. And then something creamy.
Like a liqueur?
Like a liqueur,
Bailey's?
like a
Yeah,
Kahlua or
Is the
something?
drink hot?
You would have it
Hot
warm. You're probably not
chocolate.
drinking it cold. That's for damn sure.
I
It's
guess
hot
there'd be
chocolate.
chocolate milk. Then.
Cold chocolate.
Yeah. I think that would be good. That'll make you nice and warm and put you out, just like the winter doldrums.
Nah, I think this drink's gonna make you feel miserable. I think it has to be a drink that like
Make you
you
sick.
get because you're already miserable, so you drink it just to drink it. You're like, fuck, you know.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. But great guest to have, Kelly. First
Yeah,
time.
thanks for
This is
having me.
huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Our second woman guest, Trevor, said, "How's it going, fellas?" Did not
Look,
did not exactly mention we
I
have.
said it last time. Fellas is a gender neutral term. Everyone can be a fella.
Yeah, I
And
guess
I'm not going to come up with a different intro.
fair enough.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
fine.
too automatic.
I don't take offense to it. If that makes you
She
feel
just gets
better.
up and walks out of here.
Well,
Well,
Yeah, I'm out. I gotta go.
One day we're gonna have a lady guest who does take offense, Trevor. Then you're gonna get canceled.
that'd be spicy. That'd be fun.
That would be
Right on your own
hilarious.
pod.
Uncanceled.
Trevor gets
Yeah.
canceled on his own pod.
Yeah.
You and
Yeah.
me just take over hosting duties.
We'll just start drinking
Yeah.
the shots at the same time. Like he
I'm
did
just-
it again.
You guys just come over here every week and I'm just like chilling upstairs.
You're still sitting it.
It's like, can you guys find a different place to do this, please?
Yeah.
You're serving everyone winter doldrums.
Yeah. That's my new job.
Just kidding.
Yeah, shout out Kelly. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Yeah.
I have not. I'll just say this as a disclaimer, which I've been saying to you guys. I really don't follow Philadelphia sports, but I like to. I'll chat. I'm here with that.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's Giants week.
Yeah.
I've known you're a Giants fan for many years. Pat only recently found that out, and he was
I had
pretty
no
Oh, no
clue.
incensed.
way.
I had no clue.
Yeah, that's from
I
my
almost
dad.
rescinded the invite.
My dad's a hardcore Giants fan, New York fan, Yankees. So I grew up with that. But honestly, I've flipped because I'm a Philadelphia now. So
There you go.
I want my city to do well because it's a better energy in the city. As
Well,
you
like the
guys
Giants
know.
have been so bad too of late. It's not like there's a real
Yeah.
point of contention with teams.
Yeah. That's true.
But early 2000s was probably tough.
Yeah. But I dare say right now the Giants vibes are better than our stank vibes, dude. These Eagles vibes are ooh.
Yeah, at least the Giants are having fun. I mean, you know, you win, you get a couple cutlets, you have a good day, you go have some ziti or whatnot. The Eagles, we can't. Bruh, man, that was just. I mean, I thought my rant would kick this team into gear because I think Hurts listens to the pod.
They weren't listening.
Yeah, but
clearly.
they didn't pay attention. They didn't get it together.
I think your rant made Hurts sick.
To my point,
Clearly.
playing weak. But I won't get too. I'm not as lit up as I was last week with
Maybe
the.
he needs more encouragement than like.
No,
pushing
we're all
him.
We
negative.
don't do that here.
No?
We did
Oh.
that for Trey Turner.
No.
He didn't win a World Series. We're done with that.
Oh shit. Okay.
Nope.
More.
Also, we don't have that in my family. We're a negative reinforcement family. You know, you gotta just you talk enough shit. Eventually, it kicks it into gear. You
Okay.
don't. We're not coddling people out here.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was cracking me up the whole day. They're like, "Oh, he's got the flu. This is his Jordan game," and I was fuming at that. I don't think I've ever been so quiet during a game. Hannah was upstairs and she was like, "Is the game even on?" Like, I didn't hear you say a single thing. I was like, I just had I had no energy for it. They just didn't deserve me even yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
And Hurts,
That's
you know, the podium calling out the team about, well, we all got to play more effort. Dude, you should have called that shit out. You can't get in a separate plane to make sure no one gets sick. At that point, man, just get yourself healthy and be good. We don't need you out here in Seattle in the rain again. Like, how's that going to help you out?
Yeah, truth be told, he shouldn't have played. Like, this is something that I've thought pretty much since the end of the game when he was just making a bunch of really poor decisions. I mean, when you're sick like that, yeah, there is a physical aspect to it where just you're tired, you're fatigued, you
You
can't
feel like shit when
breathe,
you can't-
you're coughing,
Yeah.
you're
He sounded like
sneezing.
shit.
He sounded like he was gonna die.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was also the mental element to it. I mean, when I had COVID, I remember trying to work a couple of days and I just could not think straight at all. So it's just taking my desk job where I sit at the computer and stare at spreadsheets and send emails all day is a lot less active than being on a football field and having to read defenses, like make adjustments on the fly. And he just couldn't do any of that.
I mean, let's be honest. The
Little
offense
game time
hasn't been
decisions.
active all year, so it's not like you had to work that hard to read defenses.
But you
We're
get
gonna
what
run-
you get what I'm saying though.
I know
Some of
what
his decision making was just off. off.
It's also a physical game. You're out there in the elements and shit like that.
You put it together.
What we're saying is that it's a little bit harder than being on the computer.
Yeah.
This
Just
season,
a
at
little
least.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. But, I mean, all around, that was an F grade, I think,
Well,
from the team.
We got to start, even before the game, all of last week was just a debacle.
Yeah.
Like,
Shambles. The team is in shambles. I'm ready to put the alert out. We're in
look at
shambles
this
right now.
timeline, right? So they lose to the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Ho-hum, whatever. A loss is a loss, sucks, all that stuff. So then the week starts. Sean Desai is still technically the defensive coordinator, does his weekly meeting with the media, and answers questions as if he's the defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
All well and good, right? Then Darius Slay magically has arthroscopic knee surgery that no one really knew anything about.
Yeah, I don't know where.
So that's weird. Then, because that happens, and it's like, oh, okay, Avonte Maddox will be slated to start his 21-day practice window soon. All right, cool, whatever. Slay's out, we'll need Maddox, even if he's probably only going to stay healthy for a game or two. Then, the Megaton bomb drops. Sean Desai is going to be watching games from the booth, and our boy, Pencil Boy, Matt Patricia, is going to be the defensive coordinator. Just like, what?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, I feel like, the positive team outlook on all this is like, well, we're still like, I mean, up until this week, like we're still 10-3, blah, blah, blah. Like this is, I don't know, what is it like Hertz keeps saying? Like this is just a bump in the road.
Yeah,
like,
a little bit of adversity.
Not something we're stuck in or whatever. But like this sends the complete opposite message. Like how you can't like send that message and then also make this panic move.
Yeah.
It's just completely, it's totally contradictory.
It's also weird timing that Slay gets a surgery while the same week Matt Patricia becomes the defensive caller. Like they already have a weird beef. That doesn't send a weird vibe in the organization where like you already know he doesn't really like Matt Patricia. Now Matt Patricia's saying that like, no, when I came here, like we gave him a big hug. I love that man. Like we're great friends. I'm like, something just doesn't. They just seem,
that seems off.
They're literally in shambles. Something is not adding up. The defense they're making moves that make no sense in this time of the year. Fighting through adversity, man. You said that after every tough win too. Like we're clearly just dealing with adversity hasn't done anything to this team because they don't do anything. The offense looked more stagnant than it ever did on fucking Monday night.
Yeah, that was pathetic
against a team that was almost you're in playoff mode now. You got to Dallas had lost. This is a big chance to like get a win, brush off the Dallas lose, and you're good to go. You never beaten Seattle or haven't beaten them in 14 years.
Wow.
Now it'll be 15, unless we play them in the playoffs, and then that would just be
They'll probably
brutal.
beat us again.
Yeah. The team has no life in it. There's no identity, no creativity on the play calling. There's no swag at all on this fucking team. You talk about a bunch of dogs driving the city. They ain't got no juice.
They're a bunch of they're a bunch of puppies, man. They ain't showing
Do you
no
think they're
fight.
like just falling apart at
They
this
look
point?
like it.
Yeah.
Like you don't think they can come out of here?
They're relying on all
Not
these wins they got at the top of
No?
the season, and they're like, "Well, we're still 10-3. Like, we'll make the playoffs." I don't want to. That's not how you win in the playoffs. To be like, "Well, at least we're getting in there. Like, we're still fine." Like, I get that we'll be in the playoffs, but
You're against the toughest competitors in the playoffs.
yeah, well, people also
Right.
are excited to get in the playoffs. We're like, "Well, we're in, so we're okay." Like, that's not how you fucking.
When you make it to the Super Bowl the year before, the goal isn't to just let's make it to the playoffs. The goal is to win the Super Bowl.
Especially when the offense is the defense is what it is, right? The defense is our weakest link, but the offense has all the weapons, top 5 O-line, Jalen Hurts, but they don't use.
I've been just saying this for like 3 weeks now. It's like as bad as the defense is, the offense is the real problem.
Yeah.
The defense is just the personnel is not great. It is what it is. Like they're going to give up points. Hopefully they can make a play here and there or whatever. But like the offense is like stacked. You have a great offensive line. You have 2 great receivers. You have a really good, top 5 tight end. You have, guy who came 3rd place in MVP last year. Like, what is the fucking problem? Like, how is this not working?
Well, the thing about it that gets me is it's clear to everyone that the offense isn't working. They haven't scored over 21 points since the Chiefs game, in which they barely scored 21 points.
Right.
That was actually I did look at some statistics about the Seattle game, and basically I was reading the their touchdowns has gone down 50% since last season.
God, yeah, makes sense.
Probably something like that. Yeah,
We
that
were the
makes
highest
sense.
scoring offense for a
Something along
while.
those lines.
Yeah, I mean, they're scoring a lot fewer points. But the funny
Yeah.
thing is, they go ahead and demote Sean Desai. It's just like the defense hasn't been great, but that's not the problem. The thing that gets me, man, is they probably knew damn well they were going to demote him. They still made him go out there for his media availability and make him think he's going to be the D coordinator. Just swept the rug out from under his feet like that. Like, not even from a football standpoint, but just like a personal level, like respectful, like workplace environment type thing. That's just so awful. It's like, yeah, Sean, you're still the D coordinator. Go have your media availability. You'll get to coach the defense a day later. Well, you're up in the booth. We're giving your powers to Matt Patricia, who's never proven himself to be a good defensive coach. That'd be like, what'd that be like? That'd be like me saying to Trevor, it's like, hey, Trevor, man, I love you. You're a great podcast host. Appreciate everything you've done. You're still going to be the host. And then we come here to record next week, and I have Marlon sitting in that chair. I'm like, all right, Trevor, you know what? Never mind. No disrespect to you, Marlon. But Trevor, you know what? Never mind. You're going to be our number one viewer. You're going to be a day one fan from now on. Marlon's taking over. That's not cool.
No, it wouldn't be.
Again, cool. No disrespect to Marlon. He was just the first name that popped into my head. But yeah, that's just. You don't handle things that way if you're trying to be like a good vibes, good energy, positive attitude type team.
Yeah.
And that's how you do things. How you think the rest of the players and coaches are going to react.
The team's probably confused too. That's
Shambles.
Yeah.
They're in shambles.
And especially, this is like a team that for the past few years, just across, you know, the sports world in general has been considered like one of like the best run organizations in sports. This is like not what you know, an organization like that's supposed to do. It's just like
the coaching staff just looks from top to bottom. It just makes you just scratch your head. Like Howie Roseman has finally got it into gear where he can draft great players. He's always been able to bring in free agents and stuff like that. He's given you every possible tool and weapon and asset that you could ever want on an offense, and you know, decent amount of young talent on defense. And you don't do anything with it. It's the most boring offense I've ever seen. It makes no sense. The routes that they run are pathetic. Your fourth quarter play to get to field goal range is to hope that they throw a fucking penalty flag.
That was wild.
So, and you admit that?
I think he was covering for Hurts.
It's a poor way of covering for him.
I know. It's still like, I mean, he must have known that he was going to come up. He knew he was going to get asked about that, and he's got like 36 hours to come up with something to say, and that's the best.
First off, we know that Sirianni isn't a fucking words. Like he's not well with words. I think that was a truthful statement. I think he was being honest. He's like, well,
I don't know,
because he was like, also, if you look at it too. Most of Hurts' picks that he throws that aren't deflections or things like that or fumbles that he turns over have been to the right side of the field, underthrown when a safety drops down and picks it off. He did it twice against KC.
The Tampa game.
I mean, it's literally his sweet spot. If you're a safety, let them think that they got A.J. Brown, and I'll just sweep in there because he can't see that safety on the high top. I think that was truthful. I think they really were hoping for a flag because you had Gainwell wide open in the dump off to get you in field goal range to take it there.
Yeah, I pointed that out as soon as I saw the play. Gainwell was wide open. He had 15 yards ahead of him.
Yeah.
And those 15 yards put you in field goal range.
Exactly. So it's like, also you wait until the last 20 seconds to have Hurts do some magical shit. Air that ball. I know we want to run the ball, and I'm not saying we shouldn't run the ball a lot, but no more curl routes. If I see A.J. Brown get wasted on a fucking 10-yard curl route one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. Let that man rip it a little bit. He wants to run. Well, they all do.
I mean, that's the thing. Like you said, there's no offensive creativity. As we said last week, they run like 3 or 4 different routes. They have about 2 different pass concepts in the offense. It's just, when you're setting your offensive players up, even if you have the weapons in the stacked offense that you have, as they do, if you're not doing anything with it, then you're destined to fail, right? Like, my thing about the whole situation as far as those deep balls is the run game was working well. Our first couple drives, we were running the ball down the throat.
That's how we got to the goal line.
Picking up tons of yards. Yeah. Then we get into a situation where the game script, where you're up, it's the fourth quarter, you have your timeouts, and literally all you need to do is just waste clock, pick up first downs, and score a touchdown.
Yeah,
And
which they were able to do last year, like clockwork.
Easy money.
It shouldn't have. They didn't need to make it this hard in this game.
And Seattle gave you a free timeout. They wasted their
Yeah.
timeout to give you the challenge play, and it worked out in our favor when Pete Carroll challenged the miscatch or the whatever it was that happened. Like,
and then it ended up being a sack
right,
because
they
they
tried
lost the
getting that
challenge.
timeout back. They were like, "That's not how it works." Like they won the challenge, but you call timeout. Like I don't know what to tell you here.
But
It's
yeah,
just it's pathetic football, and a lot of that I get it if it's bad game planning and they're not calling great plays. But if Hurts is going to be looked at as the leader and this and that, Peyton Manning would be sitting there just taking those plays and just doing what he had to do. He'd be out there managing the game, being a field general. And Hurts this season has shown 0 ounce of being able to actually call an audible, read a defense. I don't know what he's doing out there this year.
yeah. I mean,
He's got an identity crisis that's hitting him like a fucking septibus right now.
I think some of it certainly, like as you mentioned, he's been doing this all year. I do think some of his judgment was just thrown off from being as sick as he was. But
Take out just this game. It's all season he's been
no,
doing that
that's
shit.
what I'm saying.
If you're tired of
Like,
doing quarterback draws.
But what I'm saying is some of his poor judgment calls were the result of him being sick in that game. But there are
One
plenty
game.
of other games that
played 14 games this season.
that he did not make good judgment calls. And yeah, that's probably on him. Some of it's probably on Brian Johnson. It's on the offense just lacking creativity. But my biggest problem with all of this is why are we throwing a Quez Watkins?
Yeah, nothing good happens when you throw to that guy.
He's
No.
ass. We've known that for
Dude.
2 years. Dropped the ball, or fumbled the ball in that Washington game last year. Missed the catch in the Super Bowl. A couple years ago, it's the Giants missed a catch. This game. Just like, don't throw to that guy, man. And then they do throw it to him on that play. His jersey's getting tugged a little bit. Probably inconsequential for it to be a PI. He doesn't fight for the ball.
No.
He just runs his route, sees the defender, catches it. Doesn't try to stop the defender, just runs through the end zone.
Yeah.
What the hell is that, man? Act like you want to play. He's ass,
I'll tell you,
dude.
this team's
Oh,
got
my God.
The team's got no fight. They got
The
literally
vibes are
nothing right
stank
now.
as, gee, oh.
It's just brutal. I mean, everyone's like waiting for someone to step up and like.
You seen these fans outside of NovaCare holding signs like the season's
Yeah.
not over? Get a grip, dude.
But they have
You
these,
lived in
like-
Philadelphia long enough to know when a season's over, when the team is ready to just put a fork in it. And this is where we are. This team, they're going to make the playoffs. They've already clinched. Realistically,
They might lose to Tampa Bay in the first round of
yeah,
playoffs.
they could lose to the Lions, to Tampa Bay, the Rams, the Saints. This season's over for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
It isn't. But let's be real, it is.
Unless they somehow come out the next 3 weeks and put up like 35 and the defense is only giving up 17 points, I'll be like, all right, well, maybe they got something going here. But if they
If they do that, it's against mediocre
my point though is that
competition.
if they need to get some wins to get their confidence up, then you're 13-4, still a phenomenal record. You get some good wins to go into the playoffs. I feel better that way. If they sneak by and like barely beat the Giants, or it comes down to a field goal against the Cardinals, and then you barely beat the Giants again, then you're going to get wrecked in the playoffs. But if you somehow figure something out and do a whole 180 and start putting up 35 points and shutting teams down on defense, then I feel better going into the playoffs where, okay, they're getting hot at the right time. They're playing a lower seeded team than they would have been if they were whatever. But I don't
Is
know.
there really no one else on the bench that could like pull through at some like no
Only-
other talent really?
Our only
for Oak?
Lord and Savior would be Big Dick Nick to come back.
What's he
he's
doing
promise-
these days?
Yeah,
Chilling,
what's-
probably coaching his
Chill,
kids or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, chilling in Jersey.
Yeah,
Probably a
we're-
preacher somewhere, honestly.
yeah, he does love himself some church.
Yeah.
No disrespect to church.
Yeah. I was thinking, you're a couple weeks ago we were talking about Sean McDermott's
9/11.
9/11 pump up speech for his.
I will say.
And then, well, he did. They have been looking pretty damn good, the Bills. But I was thinking about Pete Carroll, famous 9/11 truther, Pete Carroll, and what his speech must have been before that game, must have been like the same sort of thing, but like it would have been, we gotta stick together and have a good game plan, just like the CIA and the Mossad had a great game plan to do 9/11.
I didn't even know he was a 9/11 truther.
Apparently, that's like a weird thing. Yeah.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Damn.
Yeah, that'll spark
Classic
some
Pistol Pete.
energetic
We
thoughts.
gotta, it's like we gotta capitalize on all the opportunities that they give to us, just like those investors who suspiciously shorted all the airlines days before 9/11.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, that's how the season's been feeling right now. Damn.
Yeah, this team, man. I don't even, like, I have notes written down here, other things to talk about on the game.
We could talk about how Bradbury gave up every single pass.
That's one of my notes.
Brutal.
He looks
I mean, I was
awful.
the one, if you wanted to have some positive, Keely Ringo looked not that bad.
Oh, yeah. Keely Ringo and, what's his called? Who's the other young cat that was out
Sidney
there?
Brown.
Not Sidney Brown,
Right.
the other
Sidney
corner.
Ricks.
Eli Ricks. They gave up. They had like 2 pass deflections together. I think they
They were
gave up
playing
a
good.
60% quarterback rating, which was really good for rookie corners.
Yeah, they were playing well. And Sidney Brown, what I will say is, yes, he missed some tackles. I mean, when we drafted him, we kind of knew that was going to be his thing. But the plays that he did make,
But when
he
he
is
hits,
making them. And he's flying around. He's playing with more energy and more juice than most other people on the defense.
Seth Jordan made a good point. He's like, if we could figure out how to contain his energy in a
I
more
think that
positive
is
way, I'm
possible,
like, that
yeah.
makes sense because he's like you said, he flies around and he levels big hits on guys. But in a league where you're not going to get the Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, B-Dall kind of hit anymore legally, you got to figure out how to utilize that.
I think that's channelable, though.
Exactly. But I think that, if anything, the game was really depressing, but there was a sign of hope with all the young secondary talent we finally have. Jalen Carter looked great. Jordan Davis looked decent. I mean, they ran all over us, but, what are you going to do that way? But, yeah, the young core of it looks good. Nolan Smith even looked decent out there. Had a couple
they
good
gotta
hits.
play him more.
Yeah.
They don't
Doesn't
play him
play
enough,
more.
but
And the defense did only give up.
No, yeah, the defense isn't the reason they lost that game. Like
That was their first good game in 5 weeks they played.
Yeah.
Bradbury,
only 3 points in the first half.
Yeah.
certainly Bradbury contributed
Cooked.
largely to them losing the game. But a
Absolutely
lot of
cooked.
the young players on the defense played fine.
Bradbury gave up 2 touchdowns on like 160 yards.
Dude.
And his excuse on the last play
I
was,
was playing sticks.
he just outran me.
He's like, yeah, I'm playing sticks. I was playing the line to gain. Dude, they need a touchdown. You don't play the line to gain.
No.
You have to, like, I'd rather you back 5 yards off the line
That's
of
the
scrimmage
time
in
that you
that
back
case
up.
and just play it safe and play over the top. But
Another also
and
defeating.
he's a veteran corner. He's 31 years old. He should know better.
Last year, I feel like was that lightning in the bottle we got with him, and this year just been ass. Again,
know
though,
what?
too, third down defense. Every time it would be like 2nd and 15, I'd still be like, they're going to get a first down. They did. Every time.
Yeah.
They were like 6 for 8 when it was 3rd and 10 plus. They added a plus. Usually it's like 3rd and 5, 3rd and long. No one really gets it. We dominate 1st and 2nd down. 3rd down, I don't know where the defense goes because it could be 3rd and 25. And I feel like the other team just gets that shit.
There is a good chance that they would.
Yeah, like
It's
they
frightening.
do. Dallas did.
Yeah.
3rd and 25, they got that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This team is just, like I said, they're in shambles right now, and there's no signs of progress at all.
Yeah, I'm not particularly optimistic about very much on the team. But your boy Jalen Carter, I do owe you a bottle of whiskey.
Got that sack, baby.
I was ready to start talking and chirping after that game. If he didn't get it, I was going to be like, oh, Pat, we got 3 games. He needs 1 sack. Let's see it.
Then they finally reviewed it. I'm like, that was a fucking sack.
Yeah.
And then they were like 4 sacks. I'm like, no way, that was definitely
then,
5. I had to
Then
look it
Joe
up real
Buck
quick.
clarified. He was like, that is his 5th sack.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yep.
I owe Pat a bottle of whiskey. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I got you.
Somebody won that day.
Yeah.
Because my fantasy also lost. I was just in,
Yeah, you
I was
lost-
in shambles. I was
you
just
lost to me in
depressed.
fantasy,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Damn.
What else do I have written down here?
The push tush. Killed my... Traded away Debo Samuel midseason to get DeAndre Swift, and it was the
that
worst
one really
move.
backfired.
That's a bad
I was
move
happy
right
as
there.
a clam to take
Yeah.
that trade. But
Damn.
I felt like I had something else written down here, but I can't read my own handwriting. Yeah, whatever. I guess we can move on to previewing this Giants game against Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. I'm sure the people in South Philly will be a little torn a little bit that way, but I would if this was like 5 weeks ago after the Buffalo win, I'd be like easy money. I think before the season, I was like, oh yeah, this is like the home stretch. We're gonna dominate the Giants, beat the Cardinals. Honestly, I don't know.
Like I said last week,
I'm
I
not
could
feeling
see
good about it.
I could see the Giants winning this game. Yo, what?
My dad would be so happy.
Oh, Christmas,
Your
a
dad
little
might be
Christmas
happy.
present for him right there.
He used to work in Philadelphia, and he would love when the Giants beat the Eagles.
Are you gonna see your pop on Christmas?
No, he's down in Florida.
Oh,
so
okay.
No, not this time. But
Well,
You'll have to call him and be like,
yeah.
"Hey, I was on a Philly
We
sports
will.
podcast. We talked about the game.
I had nothing to contribute about the Giants, but
Hey.
yeah.
You know that their quarterback is extremely Italian. You know what is funny is
I do know that now. No, now that
it's hilarious that is really just the thing about him, because like a lot of quarterbacks you'll have something to say about him, like Joe Burrow's cool, calm, and collected.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Mahomes just the best quarterback of our generation.
Nick Foles,
Tom
massive
Brady,
cock.
the goat ever. Yeah. Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick.
shit.
Who else we got? Jalen Hurts is just stoic all the time. Keeps
Rodgers,
the main thing the main
Hail
thing.
Mary King.
Yeah. And then the Giants, it's just our quarterback is extremely Italian.
Yeah.
He's proud of his heritage, and we're gonna make it his thing, and it's become his thing.
His agent only has
Does he
like
have one of
4
those,
guys.
like Italian necklaces on, like the gold, like?
I'm
was it-
sure he
Oh,
does.
know what I mean?
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure he probably doesn't
Yeah.
wear it when he's playing, but
He still lives at his parents' house.
yeah, he lives at home, and his
Yeah.
mom makes him chicken
Until
cutlets for
he gets
dinner.
married.
in
he's
the
gonna
same
live there
neighborhood. Yeah,
probably.
until he finds a nice Italian woman to settle down with.
Yeah.
He's still at home. His agent only has like 4 clients.
Yo, his agent got inducted into the Italian American Sports Hall of Fame.
Dude, he showed up there in that little like hat and everything too. I was like, damn. So they have like, they're playing fun football and they don't really care about anything. So like, they're a dangerous team.
Maybe this is the one that Eagles regroup and beat the Giants.
They
Maybe this
need-
is it. Maybe
this
they
is-
just need a little Christmas spirit, you know?
I know last week we said they needed to win. They really, if they lose to the Giants, they're fucking done. This team is fucking, they're not doing anything at all this year. If they come out and they dominate, whether it's against DeVito, whatever DeVito is out there playing football for them, they have to go out and crush this team. If they don't crush this team and they sneak by with a win, we're fucked. They have to.
Yo, I could honestly see them winning. I mean, when you think about this, Slay's out, we know. Landon Dickerson out.
What's up with these fucking thumbs with these teams, man, in Philadelphia? I'm over
I
this
knew
shit.
you had something to say about a thumb
Man,
injury.
Again, same with Slay, also acting like a little bitch. This is not the time of the season to be like, let me get a little cosmetic knee surgery here. Fuck, you gotta play. You've been playing fine. There was no hint of him slowing down. He played a decent game against Dallas coverage-wise.
They didn't say why they were doing the surgery?
I think it had to do with Matt Patricia, but I don't know.
They just said it was a thumb, or Slay, you mean?
Yeah,
It was just had a knee injury for a little while.
that's what I'm saying. No, this
It
is
was very vague.
It's
Yeah, but,
not
like,
the time of year to be
they
like.
usually say like what ligament or what.
He didn't
you
blow
know.
his leg out. He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's irritating. I'm gonna go get a surgery." Who the fuck? Especially if we were the way
Surgery's
that
so invasive.
if we
too,
had
like, you
locked
can't
up the
just
number
come back
1
from that.
seed, go for it. Get your fucking nails done. Get your knees done. Do whatever you gotta do to make yourself feel good. Not now when you have a must-win situation Monday Night Football. Let me get my knee surgery cleaned up.
What's like the return time on a NFL
Before they-
player's knee surgery? Because I know that like during a season, you know, like
Before the end of the season,
That's it.
they left it
Or-
vague.
I,
The
mean, I
injury
guess
was
whatever
vague.
this is was not super serious.
Okay.
That's my
Might have just
point.
been like, I don't know, bone spurs or loose particles to clean up.
I
or
think
some
they
shit
said it was
that.
like loose particles in
Yeah.
his knee.
Wrap that bitch up, drink some milk, and get on the
That
field.
unit,
I don't know
yeah.
what we're doing here. Like, it's just, and Landon Dickerson, oh my, come on now. Then you won't
That is
hold
no
anybody.
no respect for thumb injuries.
No respect for thumb
One of these
injuries.
days we gotta like come down
Yeah,
here.
we gotta
and
rip
tape
your thumbs
Yeah,
up.
no, we should tape Pat's thumbs to his palm and see how he does.
You'd be surprised how well I would do with no thumbs. That'd be all right. Anyway, that's not the point.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
making
Try to
millions
open
of
your
dollars.
beer without thumbs
Yeah,
the
that's
next
gonna
time.
be
I
tough.
still got 2 arms. Baby, what are you talking about? Look
Actually,
at this.
don't-
Can you pass me a beer actually without thumbs?
Listen, it's not as hard as you think.
No, I'm serious. I need a beer.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Use your thumbs so I don't want you spilling shit
Look at this. I could be all nubby.
on my rug.
I could do this with 2 nubs.
Do you have a bottle of it?
I do in my pocket.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nope, it's upstairs.
Oh, okay. Also, can I switch you for another one?
You
then?
got one?
Oh yeah, I'll give you Miller Lite.
Okay, thank you.
But anyway, my point though is that like,
Thanks.
get out there, play the game, tape the thumb up. You'll be all right. Drink some milk.
Get him some milk. But nah, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen on Sunday. It's like,
Do you guys still drink milk? Like whole milk?
Nah, I
No.
don't drink milk.
With
like that.
dinner?
I put cream
yeah, I'm
in
an
my
almond
coffee.
milk guy.
What?
I put cream in my coffee, but I don't like
Yeah.
actively
like
drink
a glass
milk.
of milk with dinner
Yeah.
or something?
Hell no.
Growing up, I did like all the time.
Yeah.
I never buy milk anymore.
If I were to have a glass of milk, I don't think I would have it with a meal. I think it
Yeah.
would be like cookies, like Oreos,
Okay.
but not like
Yeah.
I want to be eating like chicken cutlets and some pasta.
Do people still do that?
I think so, yeah.
You drink, man, drinking
I
milk
don't.
with dinner? That's just like another meal.
You go to my parents' house. That's
They're still doing
Your
it?
parents drink milk like
I don't know
that?
if they do is really, but I don't know. I mean, here and there, yeah, sure.
Big milk's taking a turn. Do you still drink whole milk, like with a glass of milk?
No.
It's
I
nice
never have.
sometimes.
No?
I never have. I've
Okay.
never been a milk
Yeah, it
guy.
can be kind of refreshing, I'll say.
Refreshing.
Yeah, sure.
I've never seen
Nice,
anybody
Actually,
nice tall glass
so-
of
drink a
milk.
glass.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I actually
Yeah,
knew
dude.
someone that told me when they were hungover, they drank a glass of milk, and I was like, that sounds like the
Oh,
worst
God, I could throw up
remedy
right
I've
now.
heard.
Ew.
But you're kind of like, oh, that sounds refreshing.
Wouldn't shock me if that was a good
Okay.
hangover cure.
my Uncle Tom always told me if you're going to have a big night out drinking, you should drink a lot of milk the day before because the
Interesting.
milk coats the stomach and you don't get drunk as fast.
Ugh.
Wait, so I've heard that
That's
about
some
like
Irish tale right there.
I was gonna say like they
sounds
actually
like
say
some-
to eat yogurt before a game because it coats. It's like good for like
It coats
hydration.
the,
and, like,
you know, keeps
Really?
the alcohol from penetrating the
Well,
intestines
this is
to
like
get.
before playing a sports game too. I'm like that feels weird because it's like then you're like all kind of clogged up.
He would just
Yeah,
say
and
that
that
before.
dairy bouncing around in your
He would
stomach.
just say
Yeah, I
that
don't
before going
know.
to the AOH. Yeah, he wasn't playing any games. He was just
Okay.
saying, if I'm going to the bar tomorrow night, I'm going to drink a lot of milk the day before.
Yeah, I can't really consume much
Different.
dairy like that at all.
Well,
No.
yeah, you can't. You don't
If
like
I
dairy
consume,
like that.
if I consume like, so I went home after this and ate a bunch of ice cream at like 11 o'clock at night and went to bed. I would wake up the next morning, stomach would be all upset. I'd probably be all gassy all night.
You'd be like Carter Hart with that IBS.
Probably. Well, not that severe, but yeah, I just can't do dairy like that anymore. So can't drink milk. If I'm going to eat ice cream, I got to be ready for a rough night and a rough following morning.
Well, they need spinach then. That'll help you
Oh, I
out.
like
Yeah,
spinach.
spinach is great.
What about spinach flavored ice cream though?
Depends on who's
That might be
making it.
all right.
Yeah,
I
it
tell
might
you
be
what,
fine.
though, you throw a little garlic in that, the right flavor.
Yeah, you could make a
ice-
savory ice cream.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hold up now. We're on to something here.
We might have to
We made a
patent
cocktail
this.
and might make an ice cream.
The
Ice
citywide
cream.
special. Scoops.
Yeah, you could have Avery's weird Christmas cocktail and with the spinach.
Yo, cream spinach
Spinach, I
cocktail
just-
might be all
he's-
right.
he's
With a little
taking all
drizzle of
kinds of
olive
stuff.
oil.
Just when you weren't
Yeah.
depressed enough,
I
here's
have
Put a little vodka up in there.
Yeah.
in the ice cream.
I have had ice cream with olive oil on top. Who
What?
does that? Pizzeria Padilla does that, and it's really good.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I never had that
It's
before.
actually
Never.
kind of, it's pretty tasty. Yeah.
Well, the people that are lactose
Padilla,
intolerant, it would
Padilla,
just slip
yeah.
right out. That's easy.
I mean, the
for
best
them.
is the ice cream with the Amaro.
Oh yeah, when
Oh,
you go to
yeah.
Pizzeria Padilla,
Oh, yeah.
we done the hoagie room. Kelly, you ever done the hoagie room?
no, but I would like to request you do the hoagies chant right now.
Hoagies.
Yes.
I don't have a hoagie
No,
in
I've
front of
been
me.
dying to do the hoagie room. I
The
love-
hoagie room's
Yeah, it's pretty
banging.
great.
We've done it
Yeah.
what 3 times?
I've done
Pat,
it
you did it with us
twice.
once.
I did
I
it
think
once.
I've done it 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't
man.
go the last time. I don't know. I forget.
The ice cream
But,
Amaro shit was
I've
really
done it
good.
twice with you guys.
What was like your favorite hoagies there?
Honestly, the veggie one was pretty great.
With the eggplant.
Yeah, that veggie
Yeah,
one is
that
yeah,
was
that
great.
one
really
was
good.
really good.
I mean, the Italian was great, but it was. I mean, but it was just like just a solid Italian hoagie.
Yeah.
Italian hoagies
Yeah.
don't
When
like
they have, like,
blow
a
me
good-
away. Like they're gonna be
Yeah.
good. You're
They're-
like, wow,
yeah.
this is great.
The
but
ceiling is
It's
a
a-
lot higher
yeah.
for Italian.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, the
The
floor is a
floor,
lot higher.
exactly.
yeah,
yeah.
veggies though,
High
you're
floor.
getting a good veggie hoagie. You're like, whoa, this is.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Usually, I'm like, ugh, I can't do veggie, but that one was really good with the eggplant and all that in there.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
And they had a tuna.
the
that was
tuna.
pretty
The
good.
tuna was solid.
I don't
Tuna.
kind of dry. That was a little dry for me.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best, but yeah, the veggies great. Some of the pizzas,
Yeah,
because when
some
you
of
do the
those pizzas
hoagie room,
were
you get
sick.
them pizzas too.
Oh,
Those pizzas are banging.
that's when I had to
Yeah.
make some room real quick.
Yeah, send
Yeah,
you
it's a
home
lot
with-
of food.
Yeah, and then they send you home with a fresh loaf.
Oh wow.
Good
And the
stuff.
ice cream in tomorrow, that shit rocked. That was
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah,
It's like
yeah.
an Amaro tasting with ice cream. That was good.
Yeah, the hoagie room's
I
a
like the
great
shit they bring
vibe.
out in the beginning. Like I feel like
Oh, those beans.
I was
with the
I was
oil.
just gonna say
yeah.
the beans.
Oh,
bang.
I was
yeah.
like, if you go to like an Italian restaurant and they bring out the big bean, it's gonna be a good meal. Man, when the big bean comes out,
They had,
and
like,
the
pickled-
sardine or the
pickled-
anchovies.
yeah,
I'm
the
trying to
sorry.
get shit
anchovies with the
moving
olive
inside
oil.
you.
Oh, dude.
They had pickled veggies too. That shit was good. Little
Yeah.
carrots and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, hoagie room's solid. We'll have to record a pod from there someday.
Damn.
Just roll up in there with all. It's like, yeah, we're gonna be setting up here for a minute.
Like, is there a DJ night? We're like, nah, they're just gonna hog up the hoagie room real quick. All right.
That'd be hilarious. But anyway,
But yeah,
yeah,
Tommy DeVito or what's his
yeah.
name?
Speaking of
Yeah.
hoagies, Tommy DeVito.
He will fuck around, put up
Dude,
350 on us.
here's the deal, right? The line is the Eagles are favored by 13.5.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, I checked today.
I was thinking maybe it'd be like, I don't know, 7.5, like something.
I was gonna
It's
say even
Eagles
like
like above a
minus
touchdown. but-
13.5.
that is way too generous for this team.
I think.
We haven't beaten a team by that much at all this year.
Hell no.
Not even
think,
close.
I think the Giants are going to win outright.
Really?
I'll tell you what. I think the Eagles' offense.
Score predictions? We're doing score predictions now?
There's not much to talk about with this game, unless you want to talk about Italian Tommy DeVito some more.
Nah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, so I think
he's had enough time in the sun.
Yeah, I think he's going to be amongst his Italian family down here in South Philly. He's definitely got some cousins.
Yeah, there could be a lot of conflicted people in the stands.
They're going to be Tommy
D
fans.
It should have been us.
Families fighting families.
The Eagles have been butt, dude. They're going to be Tommy D fans. I think Eagles offense continues to struggle. They're so predictable. Don't run any. I mean, we talked about it upstairs before we started recording.
McCaffrey called that out on Monday.
Run from under center is always a run. Anytime Hurts is an empty on third down or in the red zone, it's a QB draw. Whenever they're in pistol, it is almost always going to be a run play. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows that. You know damn well the Giants have been studying tape. I think we're going to put up 17 points. I don't think the Giants put up much more, but I think they put up 21. They beat us. The vibes get worse. A.J. Brown goes from fighting with people on Twitter to fighting with people in the stands. Like, that last one's not going to happen.
I can see it, though.
Gonna go.
He would
Ron
fuck somebody
Artest.
up.
I don't think he goes into the stands, but yeah, I think the vibes are just going to get
Malice
really
at
bad.
the blink.
Well, you don't have Big Dom keeping everybody calm and cool
I know,
anymore.
yeah.
So the team has really been without Dom on the sidelines. People have been losing their mind. 21-17 Giants. You got?
Yeah, I'm not feeling good. The last three.
I'll make it a little guess.
The last.
What you got? Yeah, we don't. No one knows.
27-21.
Who?
Giants.
I'm just gonna leave it out there. See
Oh,
what
okay.
happens.
That's a good score.
Only numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close still, but yeah.
I'm gonna say 31-20 Birds.
Okay.
They win it for Hannah.
Oh yeah, it's her
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers
okay,
to
there we
Hannah.
go.
Hopefully, or they just lose like they always do, and whatever. But I think 31-20.
I'm going 24-17 Eagles.
Damn. Okay, y'all got the Eagles. I hope they win. I hope I'm wrong. But hey, if they aren't, and they continue to lose and suck, it's more content for us to sit here and talk about.
We have historically had the Giants number for the last couple of years, and Tommy DeVito is catching he's having a great little run here. I get that. I would like to think that we could stop Saquon a little bit. That would be the biggest factor for me, is that if he really gets going. I mean, Walker ran all over us, so
yeah,
and that was with them throwing the ball decently as well. But you might get, we'll see. I don't know. I just think that this offense needs to have their day, where the defense could give up some plays here and there, I think, but it really depends on, you really just got to shut up and play some fucking good football. Jordan game, weird quotes, accountability, this and that. Just fucking play your game. You got the talent. We don't believe in the team. I mean, we don't not believe in the team. They got the talent. They could do it. This is a great time to bounce back. You're playing a pretty shitty fucking team. You're at home, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Go get yourself a little fucking Christmas present.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time to get right.
Yeah, this is it. This is you lose to the Giants at home on Christmas Day. Yeah. Fuck that. You're done. You're going to go get your ass beat in the playoffs.
What if DeVito's doing the 7 fishes for Christmas Eve? Do you think that's going to hurt against him or what?
It might.
Yeah, he might be a little
That's
too.
a lot.
Might get some mercury poisoning.
But
That's
is
a lot of
that Christmas
intake
Eve or
for
Christmas
fish.
Day?
That's Christmas Eve usually, I think.
Oh,
I don't know,
nice.
actually.
Let's hope. We got to see where he
I
buys
don't
his fish from, and
It's
make
probably
sure it's a
somewhere
little
up there,
old.
dude.
Should I
It's up
look
in
it
North
up and-
Jersey.
we
They
should make
do
sure
it?
it's a little outdated so that little fucking last fish gets him a little seasick.
Feeding him bad eel.
Yeah.
Giving him bad crabs.
It's the bad salmon that got me. Oysters.
Yeah,
They're deadly.
feed him an oyster.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Nah, his mom probably has a really good spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, he making that NFL. It's like
Yeah,
he's
the
not making that much
Christmas
money.
Eve is the
He's not making
traditional
anything, really.
time.
Yeah,
That's why he's at home. He's like, my mom still does the laundry.
imagine that. But
Incredible.
yeah, maybe he will eat some bad fish on Christmas Eve. We can only hope.
And then we get Daniel Jones back. Wait, is he
Like
healthy
he's
or
out
is he
with a
hurt?
torn ACL.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the reason
It'd be
why.
Tyrod Taylor. Or wait,
No, I don't know who their third.
He's not their backup any. I don't.
DeVito is the third. They've gone through Jones, Taylor, and now that's.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
So whoever's next.
I don't know.
Oh, also, though, real quick shout out, now that we did the prediction, shout out Joe Flacco, though, I'm not going to lie, for redeeming his career.
Yeah, dude.
Randomly.
That's good
Elite
for my
quarterback,
fantasy
Joe
football
Flacco,
team,
baby.
dude.
Coming back out of here and just fucking Joe Flacco, hold up on New Jersey,
From
tearing it up.
My fantasy.
Eagle legend Joe Flacco.
Yeah, he was here for a hot minute.
For like the training camp or whatever.
Dude, my fantasy
One of the
football
weirdest
team name.
signings that
We
we've
were
ever
like,
had.
yeah, hell yeah, Joe Flacco came back home, and then he was gone before the season started. We're like, all right, well, that was fun while it lasted, I guess.
He's gone from
Yeah.
Flacco to Flaccid
He was,
back to
yeah,
Flacco.
Joe Flacco was here slightly longer than Frank Gore.
Damn.
Well, should we move on to the Sixers?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Right?
can move on to them. Yeah, yes, sir.
finally some good news.
Yeah, so Daryl Morey got an extension.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think overall he's done a good job. I think some of the, negative vibe shit has not really been entirely his fault. I mean, there was like the hard and weird stuff, but I mean, he's made a lot of good moves. I feel good about it.
It also checks out with what he said all offseason, where he was like, when the whole Harden thing was going down, he's like, I'm not going to get hung up with keeping Harden or trading him for nothing. Like, I want to get a good value for letting him go. Because he said, the next couple of years, the free agent market kind of explodes, and we want to build around Embiid and Maxey and the young players that we have. It would be tough for him to say that and then not be a part. We would be stuck in that endless cycle of like, every 3 years we have a new GM, and like you don't really know who's building the building blocks and the foundation of this team. Where it's good to see that like ownership and the GM are kind of stabilized now. So what he said, that clearly he rang through to the ownership there and got their buy-in as well. Also helps that Maxey is just going absolutely berserk and Embiid is looking phenomenal. So yeah, he won that deal. You let Harden go. Team didn't skip a beat. You got some young, talented players. You got draft capital. We'll see what happens in the future. But I think it was a really smart move to keep the top together.
Yeah, I mean, in essence, he's signed through 27, 28. Embiid's going to be 34 by then, which is wild to think he'll be that old. But I say that old. That's how old I am now. Damn.
He's not an NBA
Yeah, when
athlete.
he's
so,
Yeah.
ancient.
But yeah, I mean, it kind of just extends the window through the end of Embiid's career.
Yeah.
You figure Daryl Morey will do everything he can to build a winner around Embiid until Embiid just is out of his prime and probably ready to retire. And then at that point, maybe it becomes Maxey's team and you give Daryl Morey another extension. But yeah, I think from a team building perspective, Daryl has had to deal with a lot of nonsense. He inherited Al Horford and
oh man,
Josh Richardson, flipped them
Yeah.
for Seth Curry, Danny Green, and the pick that got us Maxey. Obviously, drafts Maxey. Then the whole Ben Simmons thing goes down. Say what we will about Harden, but he was a lot more useful to the Sixers than Ben Simmons would have
Right.
been.
hell yeah!
And then
That empty Hennessy bottle was.
Seriously, it was good Hennessy. It pleased me a lot more than Ben Simmons did. But then James Harden runs his course. Then Daryl again does the right thing. Doesn't trade him on impulse. Flips him for the right move. Gets us some compensation, some draft picks. So we're ready to make a move. So I think all in all, Daryl's done a solid job. Certainly he's had some misreads, but every GM's going to. Now he's here for the long haul to try to win his first championship and to try to win the Sixers one. And to, I guess, win Josh Harris's bum-ass one.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely earned it, and the team's given him his roses to continue the track that he's on. I mean, it's incredible what the team has gone through just in the last, even 6 years, which sounds like a lot, but the shit that, the amount of players that have come in and out of this organization that could have gotten us farther along in the playoffs and whatnot, and we've lost, and still kind of remained consistently good.
Yeah.
You go back to having Butler, losing Butler, Harden, losing Harden. Even when we had Seth Curry and Ben Simmons, we thought we could build, Harden or Embiid and Simmons era, that was gonna be a dominating era. Going through that transition, and now it's the Maxey and Embiid era, and it's honestly incredible to see the team. It's for Embiid getting older. Literally, they look like they're playing more youthful basketball. They're quick, they're aggressive, they're
Yeah.
having fun.
Maybe that's just with experience with playing each other too.
Definitely. He got a new head
definitely
coach
helps.
too. It just seems like the team is gelling. There's not a single person that's no ego on this team. Embiid's never been that way. Maxey, I don't think has any kind of ego at all. He just wants to play good basketball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a Sixers fan, which is not what we predicted coming into this season
Yeah,
at
I thought it
all.
was going to be terrible.
Yeah, we all were like, this is it.
Yeah, and Embiid is ridiculous. Scores, like, I mean, yeah, it was funny because, he's had this like crazy stretch the past few games where people are like knocking him because it's like, oh, they're just playing the Wizards and the Pistons.
The Hornets, the Pistons.
And then they
twice,
lose against the Bulls, and it's like, oh, as soon as they play like and the Bulls aren't even good. So it was like
subpar team.
Though, like, I mean, Embiid still had like 40 and something in that game.
He still what? Is it 14 games in a row now with 30 and 10?
Yeah, he just tied Kareem or something.
He broke Wilt. I think he tied. Yeah.
Yeah. But then he comes out against and this was like a real test for the team. It's like, okay, it's a good like measuring stick. Like, is
best
this team
in the
really
West?
legit?
Best
Best team in the Western Conference, best defense in the league, and he puts up 51 points against them, just unstoppable.
And Maxey also with a 30-burger.
35, 35 or something. Yeah. Embiid's just ridiculous. Like he, like last night, just could not miss a mid-range shot. It was nuts.
Nothing. I mean, it's just the sheer dominance that he plays at that level as a 7-foot center, and that's like what it's.
It's so.
I
insane.
feel like we're so lucky that we live in this. Like we're in Philly and we can appreciate the everyday Embiid. But I feel like last year he finally got his roses as the MVP. But I still don't think people understand how like mind-boggling of just a human he is to play the game of basketball at the size and the sheer just dominating factor that he plays at. 51 points on a team like that is incredible, backing off of a 14 game streak of 30 plus points and 10 plus rebounds as a center who looks unassumingly athletic. You don't think him as like, okay, he's going to do it every week. At one point, I think he tied Wilt he had more, I forget what it is, this late in the season.
He had more points scored than minutes. And I mean, that's only gone up since then.
And he's led the league in scoring. He only got the MVP last year, but the 2 years before that, he led the league in scoring, and this year again, leading the league in scoring as a center. Like, dude, it's incredible.
Yeah, I think I got a couple things here. Sorry, I was peeing. That was a long pee. I really had to go.
Like a freaking warhorse in there.
Yeah, exactly, like a warhorse. Whee!
If that's the war, I don't want that as my warhorse. Yeah. He said warhorse. Me. This should sound like Rudolph over there.
But anyway, so yeah, you were saying how people don't appreciate his greatness. Trevor and I, we kind of talked about this last week, but people always like to point to the fact that, foul merchant, how many free throws did he take out of those 51 points? Yeah, he
only
made
17, I think.
He took 18 free throws. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Even if you take them all away, he still has like over 30 points.
That's the thing. He was still 17 of 25 from the field, on mostly mid-range jumpers or dunks where he's blowing by people. So he's still very skilled. Then the other thing I was going to say is I went back and looked at this today, is he's averaging 35.1 points per game, which there's been very few people that average that many points in a season in the last, 40 years. One of them was Harden.
Had to be when he hit that 40 points a game for,
Harden was averaging 30. He averaged 36.3, I believe, in 2018. Kobe had a year where he averaged 35.3. MJ had a year where he averaged 37 in, 87, I think, or 88, sometime around then. But these are all guards. I don't even know the last center that averaged this many points a game. We probably are talking some Kareem
it's
or
Wilt
and
Kareem.
Yeah.
I mean, which is you're talking about Wilt in an era where his just sheer size just completely dominated the whole NBA. Kareem, again, also was a freak of nature, could do that. And Embiid is playing in an era where there's some other big guys he's playing against. I mean, that team has Cat. You got Cat on that team.
He's
playing against Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert and Cat.
Defensive Player of the Year multiple times.
Rudy Gobert's ass.
Talking about two towers, though. Talking about 9/11, you're playing against Gobert and Cat. You got two big towers right there, and he's unfazed.
And then Embiid knocked them both down.
Yeah. George Bush is getting shook again, but it was nuts, man. That shit was incredible. And again, Maxey, too, where unassumingly 30-plus points also. The team was just cooking. And I love that Nick Nurse was like, I still don't even know how to use these guys at the best of their ability yet. Like, if you're still trying to figure out your players and they're playing this well. It's amazing.
Yeah, they figured it out before you did. A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. Sixers are riding a high right now. They're looking good. They still, lost to the Bulls here and there and have shit like that, but you got Oubre getting better. Toby's really the weakest link in the starting lineup there.
Ass. But dude, Maxey was hooping, though. We got to talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Embiid puts up 51. Maxey put up 35, but the thing that stuck out to me the most, right, was Minnesota. Like, the first game we played them this year without Embiid, they kind of just threw a bunch of big defenders at Maxey and kind of owned his ass.
Well, yeah.
But this game, they threw those big defenders at him. He's blowing by guys. He's taking the ball out of his hands, giving it to someone else and letting them find him just off movement for like spot up threes or just drives to the lane. I think that was probably not more impressive, but probably more important because you're going to play good defenses like that in the playoffs where you need Maxey to be able to make an impact when big defenders aren't letting him make the impact the way he's used to. I thought that was really neat to see. Then at the end of the game when they both did the post-game interview, and it was Taron Hatcher was like, yeah, I'll let you guys talk about each other and really kind of gas each other up because I know you don't like to talk about each other. And then just hearing them just swoon over the other's game. Embiid's like, yeah, he should be an all-star starter. And Maxey's like, he makes my life so much easier. Man, that was so heartwarming, man. Seeing big brother, little brother just on display for everyone to see. They're a lot of fun.
It's just neat to see that, like, I feel like the last couple of years we were waiting for the Sixers to, like, bring in a hot commodity veteran all-star to help guide Embiid through his career and this, bring him to the promised land where now you're seeing that Embiid's that guy and Maxey is the young guy and Embiid's being able to bring him up and Embiid's still playing at an MVP level caliber player and Maxey now has really turned it on and is just killing it. And it's just so fun to see. I mean, I don't think any of us saw this happening at all this year. If anything, I thought there were talks of people, Embiid hit his peak a little bit after he won the MVP. Like he won't ever, he won't play this dominantly again. And he's having a more of an MVP level year this year than last year. Yeah, like this would be a confident MVP year for Embiid compared to last year. Last year was like the whole back and forth between him and Jokic and when could he get it? It felt kind of like a pity MVP. I'm not gonna lie when it came down to the end of it.
Yeah. Where
this year they're fucking locked in. They don't look. It's nice to see. I feel like that monkey's off his back and he can just focus on trying to win a championship. He's just also just sheerly just kicking the shit out of everybody in the league. Even Anthony Edwards was swooning over him too.
He's like, I don't know how you stopped it, man. I don't see them losing many games. I'm trying to pull up. There was this straw poll for MVP. Did y'all talk about this?
He hinted it in the very beginning, but we didn't talk about it.
So Embiid's handily in the lead, right? I think last week I said that I thought that a lot of like NBA media types would still take Jokic just because Embiid let them down when they voted for him last year. It's kind of hard to ignore his statistics. So Embiid, out of, I don't know how to really classify this, out of 99 total votes, Embiid has 63 first place votes, 27 second place, and very few third, fourth, or fifth. So in terms of total points, I forget how this is weighted. Embiid has 848 points for MVP. Jokic is second at 630, over 200 behind him.
Damn.
Then no bag Giannis, I'm going to complain about a basketball Giannis, is third with 352.
He had a pretty ass game to the day.
He had 64 points and was complaining about a basketball.
Yeah.
Yo. So Embiid right now, it's his award to lose. He just needs to stay healthy. Doesn't need to continue to be this good because I don't expect him to, but needs to continue to put up numbers. And he's going to win it again.
He hasn't given us any reason to believe that he won't put up numbers. I mean, you can't expect a 50 burger every time, but he's been cruise control in this 30 and 10, which is fine with me.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I guess the last thing real quick I hinted at Giannis, that Pat Bev shit.
Oh, yeah.
Your Pat Bev was saying he would have popped the ball.
He's had to pop that bitch.
He's like, yeah.
And peel it like an orange.
Yeah. Sign my name on it. You drop 64 on me. I'm going to sign my name on it. Pop it. Here, you can have this ball. Pat Bev continues to be the man, dude.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's been drinking a lot of post-game beers and now too on this little run.
He's been getting drunk.
Yeah. A man of the people.
Yeah. Was that the wrap up the Sixers?
Yeah, we good.
I guess we can. Did the Flyers win? Did we check the?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, what happened there?
I'm gonna say they
lost 4-2.
Oh, 4.
damn.
Man. Well,
Damn.
kind of had that feeling when every time they would score would just be an instant bang. Okay.
Retaliation goal.
Yeah, so the
point streak is over officially,
Yeah,
yeah.
we probably jinxed
But-
it by mentioning it in the open.
Shouldn't have done that. Oh well.
That's all right though. Hey, there's no expectations of this season, so they're still playing way above what we thought they would be.
Yeah.
So, played a good game. They played a good team.
Yeah.
Scrappy
Yeah,
team. I'm sure we're
natural.
starting to probably piss off people as well. We're like, people are starting to talk a little bit about the Flyers. They're like, wow, they're kind of I saw a poll the other day. They're like, they're the most exciting team in hockey right now, just because they're like a
It was
wild
really
card.
unexpected,
You
yeah.
don't know what to expect,
Yeah.
and they're kind of playing crazy and winning games. So I'm sure teams that are a better unit are probably like, fuck these guys. They're still the Flyers, which is fine. But they're going to lose games. I mean, it's nice to see a team that, like, when they surprise you winning so much, they're being better than you expected, and then they lose every now and then. You're like, I don't really care. It's all right,
Yeah.
Playing with
I
house
don't
money.
need-
Yeah,
there,
yeah. That's fine, yeah.
exactly.
Worst case scenario, we go on a fucking 30-game lose streak and get a better draft pick. So, like, there's
Yeah,
no real,
they provide us the excitement early and let us down
Yeah,
late, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
which
take
is
it.
like pretty on par with what they usually do. So I'm not bad with it. But yeah, tough fought loss. It's a shame they lost at home and a couple.
the last
They
home
definitely
game
could
for
have
a
won
while.
that game. Yeah, they could have won
Yeah,
that
they
game
got
for
the
sure.
Disney on Ice
Yeah, which
road trip, which I guess the Sixers also. Will
yeah,
be on the road
I
for a
want to
while.
talk about that for a minute, right?
They're at the
But
Leacore
You
Center.
going?
hell no.
We should just go to the Disney on Ice one of these times
Do
just
y'all-
to see.
We could do the pod at Disney on Ice.
Well, no, I'm curious.
Holy shit, Mickey Mouse just did it.
Do y'all like Disney like that? I know some people love Disney as adults.
I mean,
No, not
really.
Disney
No.
adult. Not that.
I
not
think
a
they're
Disney
kind of
adult.
weird, but
Yeah.
I also don't want to not. I don't want to yuck their yum at the same time.
Oh, you
You know
say
a lot
that
of
too?
Disney
You say
adults.
that too? We don't yuck other people's yums?
That's
You
'cause
say
it's-
that?
That's because it
Sometimes,
hits. You
but-
know some
Oh,
Disney. A lot of Disney people.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum, but at the same time, Disney on Ice really screws the Flyers and Sixers every year.
That's
They have this
fair.
2-week road trip every year at the end of December, early January.
But the children
Because of
love
Disney
the
on
books.
What
Yeah.
is
See,
what do
well,
you-
that's maybe they should, if they build the new Sixers arena, they can have the Disney on Ice over there.
No, wait, what? They'll just keep it at.
Well, I guess they would just keep.
Then
it
maybe
at-
the
they're not-
Flyers
They're
can-
not going to put ice into the.
They're building
Sixers
a whole
stadium.
arena for Disney on Ice.
No, they build this new Sixers
They should
arena,
just have
but
the
just
Flyers
put
play
an
at
put an
FDR.
ice rink in there just for like a few days out of the year.
The Flyers should just
If they
play
did
across
that
the street.
in Center City, the parents would lose their mind. They
Yeah.
would not want to
That's
drive
true,
to Center
yeah.
City.
But then you can see the
There's no
Macy's
way.
building, though. You know, do a little Macy's.
You can
do the
show,
Christmas
that'd be
Village.
nice.
Christmas Village, and
Yeah,
they can
make
make
a
a
whole
nice,
day
you
out
know,
of it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That's true.
potentially.
Yeah.
Or they could just stay down in South Philly, and the Sixers could still play at home.
Yeah, he's got to bring back the Spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And
Spectrum
then
was
just-
banging, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Did you guys ever go there?
Hell yeah, I went to
Yeah.
the Spectrum. I went there a
I
handful
already,
of times.
when the Phantoms still played here, they would play at the
Yeah,
Spectrum.
even
That
after
was-
everyone else
maybe like
moved.
$5.
Okay.
That shit ruled.
Yeah, I remember
Cool.
getting out of the Flyers and Sixers games sometimes, and you just be walking by the Spectrum, and it's this tiny little building compared to the Wells Fargo and the Link. The Spectrum was cool as hell, man. I'm pretty sure I went and saw Allen Iverson there his first couple seasons at the Spectrum, I think.
No way.
They had the blueprint set. Keep everything in one spot. Now you keep
Yeah,
moving
they
away.
don't need to break it up.
No.
But yeah, I guess the last thing I had on the Flyers is teams. They said this on the broadcast. I forget exactly what it was. I think I butchered it when I wrote it down. But teams in the top half of the Eastern Conference playoff standings on Christmas make the playoffs over 80% of the time. I think the last month I said teams that are in a playoff position at Thanksgiving make it about 76% of the time. So where the Flyers are right now at Christmas, 80% of the time they make the playoffs.
They're in a really weird position because going the season, you would think they're definitely selling at the deadline, which they probably still might trade off a couple guys. But at this point, that might rub the players the wrong way. Cause
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
can't do it.
'cause it's like we've worked our asses off and gotten this, and you got to give us a chance to,
Do something here.
yeah, you got to
There's clearly some. There's
It's
a,
at some point you have to just say the players have earned a right to
play.
play in the playoffs with the team that they have, and even though, I mean, I'm sure they all understand where the organization is and they're in a rebuild and all this stuff, but it's like, fuck it, we're winning games. Like,
even Briere was like, I mean, the team is playing obviously above the level that we thought.
They're definitely not going to be buying, but...
No, but there's, like you said...
They like each other, man. They're enjoying playing with each other.
Don't break them up now just to break them up and for a projected good thing. I mean, the goal is to make the playoffs, and you're just doing a little bit sooner than you thought you would. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, keep the team together.
Though it would be a truly Flyers thing to do to have an 80% success rate to get the playoffs and then not make the playoffs.
Well, we wouldn't be mad about that. It's a better draft pick. It's a win-win.
Definitely. That's what I'm saying. There's no... You're chilling. You're all right.
But, so Kelly, I know you play in a league of sports. We will talk about Gaelic football.
Yeah.
We'll give it its segment, but I'm curious, are there trades in this league?
Well, for the men's there kind of is.
Really?
It's kind of like, so there's for the American teams, they'll bring over guys and they're called sanctions. So those guys will come over and they'll be kind of scouted sometimes from like Ireland, or it's kind of like all relationship to like people like that all know each other.
They want to get traded to their friend's team.
Yeah, but it's like it's amateur, so you don't get paid. So
okay.
It's so in Ireland, it's like you'll be next to a plumber and then like a financial analyst on a field, but they all play for their county, and it's like
that's cool
for the pride of their county and stuff like that. And then like it gets bigger and bigger. But I can't even talk about the GAA in Ireland because I just don't know enough about it, and I've tried, and I've just like it's all over.
When I was there, I was like trying to figure out how to I couldn't even figure out how to find out when or where like games are being held. Like I was like, there was a website, but it had like nothing on it. I was like, how do you find out where like when these games are happening?
Honestly, you could just ask someone on the street, be like, tell me the next GA.
Because I was like, it'd be cool to like go see like a like a hurling match or some shit, but I couldn't figure it out. So I just went to like a regular old soccer game when I was there.
A football game.
Oh yeah,
if you will.
Still good. Still good.
Ignorant.
Which was a great game.
Yeah, but the USGAA that became huge like when everyone started coming over to America, and there's like a bunch of big huge divisions. Like New York, we don't even play New York teams because they have their own division, like their own like USGA is separate from New York because of how
so many
big
teams they got.
Yeah.
So do you play teams from other parts of the East Coast?
Yeah, so our biggest competitors for like at least for the women's team is Pittsburgh, Baltimore, DC.
That's a good division.
I don't like Pittsburgh.
Well,
I like Pittsburgh as a city, but
they're not
I don't
in
like
our division, but we choose to play with them. And then there's two women's teams finally. The Delco Gales were new. My team is the Notre Dame's latest Gaelic football club. And that so because we were the only team, we would go to other cities, but now we have this inner city.
So you don't have to travel as far for all your matches.
Yeah, but it kind of gets old because you keep playing the same team over and over, and you're like, all right.
You start spanking.
It's like,
well, hey.
I've already checked this girl 17 times.
It's like the Harlem Globetrotters playing the Washington Generals.
Yeah. She's just getting a little too personal. Like, all right, you check me every time.
Yeah. I didn't play this past year because I fucked up my knee, but I was helping. I was help coaching and training people and trying to help out however I could, so that was fun. Different role, different weird times.
So when you say free agents and stuff like that, they don't get paid. So like so they gotta get their own flight.
Yeah, but sometimes the club will like sponsor that. They'll find them jobs over here, a place to live and stuff. Like they'll make you part of the community, part of the football, like very closely. Like in the men's teams are all up in Upper Darby.
Okay,
a lot of them.
Do they get jealous when they're like, damn, they flew in? Seamus from Dublin. We got
the rivalry is huge among the men's.
They get like the giant.
That sounds fun.
6-foot ginger from.
They're like BFFs throughout the entire year except for the football season.
I can see that.
Yeah. So.
And Gaelic football is a little bit of soccer, football, basketball.
I like to call it soccer with hands. Because it's not rugby's a bad connotation just because you can't tackle. So it's like more like the soccer pressure where you can like shoulder, you can put a little pressure on them and stuff like that, but you can't fully tackle.
You can't fight people?
No, but Philadelphia players do.
I'm sure they do.
Oh, yeah.
You already know.
Yeah.
You'll grab a couple beers after the game when you're done fighting though, and everyone's merry, or they all still keep it off the court pretty...
I guess like, I feel like the summer is a pretty hot time just because there's people get really angry on the field, and there's been times I've had to be on. I forget even what the. It's like a board where I have to make a call about was that out of line, and then I have to.
Can you ban someone from the league?
Not ban them, but I've been like, you can't play the next game. But because I was just
and they probably get mad at you.
You're like a ref.
Well, it's funny because I've just been a part of the Philadelphia board before, so they're like, hey, you're a neutral person. Can you just make this call? Like, what is it? Like, this person got a yellow card. What does it say for this infraction in the rule book? And then I have to look it up with other people, and then I have to issue this. I'm like, this is a lie.
Damn,
I don't know.
You're like,
yeah,
you're the person that could, like, we're calling New York. It's Kelly. You're like, yes, that is.
Yes,
I'm watching the tape right now.
Oh, so you're Secaucus.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but it's more just like, oh, can you do this? They ask as a favor, and I'm like, sure, but.
But then it puts a target on your back. Then when they see you coming across the middle of the pitch, and they
Like,
sounded like,
she
I'm
was the
burying
one.
her.
She was the one that made that call.
I'm like, I didn't do it. You guys, okay, the ref called that, not me. Yeah.
They get too many red cards, they lose their visa, have to go back to.
And they have to pay for their own flight back. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done that in a while, but there's been times I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, I don't know these guys that well. Yeah. It's been a while since I did that. But yeah, it's fun. It's like there's a soccer net, basically. The best way I can describe it is a soccer net with a field goal on top. So you can kick it into the goal for 3 points and the field goal for 1. And then the soccer field's pretty much this. The pitch is like similar to a soccer field. It's a little bit bigger.
Can you throw the ball at all?
You can't throw it, but you can. It's like a hand pass, or you can kick it with your foot, or it can be on the ground too. But it's easier to control the ball when you have it.
Can you run it with your hands?
You can, but it's so if
multiple steps.
Yeah, but you can take. What is it? Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. No, you have to dribble the ball while you're doing it. So you can either bounce the ball on the ground.
Oh, shit.
But you can't double bounce. So you can take 4 steps, kick it back up to your hands, and then take another 4 steps, bounce it. But you can't take 4 steps and bounce.
That requires coordination.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so, like, the hand pass is kind of like a volleyball pass.
Yeah.
The punting is regular, like, soccer punting.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just, like, really fun. It's fast-paced.
Is the ball regular round?
Yeah, it's a little bit heavier than a soccer ball. It kind of looks like a volleyball too, the way it's like, like the lines on the ball.
Yeah.
And yeah, if like you're defending someone, you're kind of like this, like you're like man to man, like trying to get them
setting picks and shit.
Yeah, trying to like block the ball, and like when a girl's going up to punt the ball, if you're a defender, you have to throw your hands up to try and block that shit.
Yeah.
So like you're getting the power of that strike right into your...
Do you ever get kicked?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it sucked.
That's hardcore. So you're on the injured list.
Yeah, I'm probably done for...
You're retired?
I think so,
What?
yeah. I don't think I can do it. It's a young man's game, I'm not going to lie.
It does sound intense and a lot of weird moving around.
I'm not in shape. Like, you have to be in soccer shape. I'm just not there anymore.
Feels like you got to be kind of like... Not even just soccer shape, but
brolic.
like flexible.
Yeah.
Like you're doing like bending over, throwing, like kick, like it's a lot of.
Yeah, you gotta have your wits about you. It's
Damn.
true. It's really fun though. It's been like I started I think when I was 24, and now I'm 30. I'm turning 34 soon. So I was part of it for like.
Old?
That was a good career though. I'm not gonna lie. No, but a
Yeah, these knees are talking louder than I am.
10-year career though was a pretty.
Yeah.
That's about the career for an average athlete.
Yeah.
You did it.
I really wish because like there's people that played in like the youth leagues and stuff, and I like wish I had found it earlier, but
you can always teach
fun.
the youth.
Yeah, that's true. There's a ton of youth programs in Philadelphia. They actually have their own league themselves, and yeah.
Okay. Wow.
That's good.
That's incredible. Well, Gaelic football, everybody.
Yeah, Gaelic football. Try it out.
So how often are the matches?
So we usually kick off in like April. There's like a 7-a-side tournament up in Limerick. That's where the Philadelphia GAA fields are.
Limerick.
Yeah, right by the outlets.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like we try to get 4 games with the other women's team. And then we'll try to do like little tournaments here and there with local like Pittsburgh, Baltimore, DC women's teams. And then the finals there's always a USGA finals somewhere in the United States. Last year it was in Denver. This year is San Francisco.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice and warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll
Okay,
see.
San Francisco's not.
Compared to Denver.
Well, Denver, you're dealing with that altitude. Ooh,
That's what I'm saying.
Denver was hot and dry. It was
and that altitude.
And you're mile high.
Yeah. So it usually end August, so April to August.
Okay,
So we're kind of trying to get as many games as possible with like the consideration of the holidays. So
gotcha.
Can we find this Gaelic League at the St. Patty's Day parade?
yeah, we walk in the parade.
I feel like
That's
I
true.
saw.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw you
Forgot
last year.
about
I was
that.
like, is that coming? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's funny.
I think the youth. Yeah, like there's a bunch of like the men's teams are there, women's. Yeah, it's fun, good times.
Nice.
You guys should come
Cool.
watch.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
for
interested
sounds
for
fun.
sure. Yeah, I've never seen it live, so I'm still trying to wrap my head around the game style.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun to watch the men's too because it is definitely more quicker paced, obviously, but
I'll
Yeah.
watch whoever plays. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
it's
I'll watch
great.
men, women, kids.
Yeah. And hurling will be there too, so you can catch a hurling game.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Hurling is like field hockey, lacrosse with sticks in the air. It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I don't know why I thought hurling was like shot put
No, it's like the
Yeah,
sticks.
hurling. Yeah, I kind of get it.
or like
Yeah.
curling. I got it mixed up with curling.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, very
Hurling is. They asked me to play. I was like, the women's name is called Camogie, and I was like, there's no fucking way I'm ever doing that. I'm never doing.
too weird.
Yeah.
So before we had here, we are, since it is New York Giants week, couple New York related things I wanted to get to. So well, I guess briefly, Rudy Giuliani is declaring bankruptcy.
Oh.
The
Saw that
Yeah.
former
coming.
America's mayor
Damn.
has been ordered to pay $148 million to
He's broke as a
Georgia
joke.
Georgia
election
defamation
workers.
case.
He don't
Yeah.
have that kind of money.
Yeah, so now he's
Clearly.
declaring bankruptcy. What a fall for that guy, man. Like,
He saved the city
Yeah.
from 9/11.
yeah, right. Like he should have
Well,
just.
did he save it from 9/11?
No,
no,
he
he
didn't
really-
save
he
it. I was
really
being
saved it.
sarcastic, dude. I didn't
He
mean
didn't
that.
like jump in front of the planes. Like,
Like Godzilla, like, ding, oh, we're good, guys.
I didn't mean
No,
that.
I messed it up.
but like that guy should have just called it quits then and just stopped doing politics and everything. He could have just made a living being like a motivational speaker.
You get
just,
that little taste of power.
yeah,
You're
he
like,
could
you
have
know
just
what?
shown up at like like sales conferences and like talk to like the
NYPD, like,
just
Veteran
show up at like
Association or something.
just be like showing up at like hotel conference rooms, talking to people
Mm-hmm.
about 9/11 and just collecting like thousands of dollars for each one, just living large.
Instead, he did the
So
Borat movie.
he got mixed up with
Oh.
Trump. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he got mixed up with all this shit and
Now he's sweating
Now
gravy
he-
and broke
yeah.
as fuck.
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like, yes, the dye sweat.
Spray tan coming
That
out.
was
And
funny in the Borat
he was
joint,
like the
dude.
guy at the Four Seasons press conference.
At the fucking wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
I forgot
landscaping.
about that.
landscaping.
Oh my
Dude,
That's an
God.
all-time moment, man.
I
Like,
love that happened.
That was epic.
I knew where that was too because I used to work up at the Northeast, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, this
That
is
was-
the middle of nowhere."
Yeah, that was hysterical. And I saw, like, what in the fuck?
How
Also,
do you
like,
screw that one up?
you don't, like,
so,
ever.
It's so
Just-
funny.
You
They're
also
just-
didn't think that, like, when
so-
you pull it up on Google Maps, you're like, something isn't right here.
Yeah, this is way outside
Yeah.
of Center City, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing a.
It was like
But I
whoever-
also love that the landscaping company was like, "Fuck yeah, you guys could go."
It
here,
was
no
good for them. It's good for
problem."
their
yeah,
business.
they became like a tourist attraction
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you probably like, all right, need some garden shears? Like, I'll fucking come here or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, so jumping from that to the current America's mayor, Eric Adams.
Oh, this
Oh,
thing he said.
God.
This was
In some kind of interview earlier this week.
also 9/11 related.
Yeah,
We gotta
Damn, we have a lot of
9/11.
We gotta call
Hot
off-
topic.
Yeah, we have a lot of 9/11 on this pod. I don't know what that says
Yeah.
about us.
Never forget, you know?
this.
Daylight
We've
sa-
come to the end of what was a very eventful 2023, right? So when you look at the totality of the year, if you had to describe it, and it's tough to do, in one word, what would that word be, and tell me why?
New York. This is a place where every day you wake up, you could experience everything from a plane crashing into our trade center to a person who's celebrating a new business that's open. This is a very, very complicated city, and that's why it's the greatest city on the globe.
Mr. Mayor, we've come to the end of what was it.
Oh my God!
That's why.
When did that come out? I'm sorry.
I think that
This
was like
past
early. It was like
week, yeah.
Monday or something. Yeah.
Oh my
I
God!
love,
that
that
was
the guy,
this
I love that
week.
the guy first said in one word. He just
Yeah,
said
in
New
one
York.
word. He's like New
And
York. Yeah, 2 words, and then here's it's gonna
Here's
get
the
even
whole
crazier.
explanation.
Is that Charles Barkley or what? Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, the
Damn.
two shades of New York: opening a business or
9/11,
9/11.
yeah.
Seeing a plane crash into a building.
Really,
yeah.
the highs of New York and the lows of
Yeah,
New
yeah.
York. Big
My
time.
God.
It's got everything.
Oh man.
You could you could see a Broadway production of Lion King the musical, or you could also get murdered by the son of Sam
Right.
Killer.
Get shot in the face.
You know who's not bankrupt though?
A homie,
That man eating that
homie
lobster
eating
on
a
the
lobster
subway.
on the
Yeah,
train
he's
in New
living
York.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing you might see is a man just ripping apart a whole lobster and eating it on the
there was a
subway.
man. Yeah,
Did he have butter with it too? Was he dipping?
I hope so.
I don't know.
I didn't
really
see
had.
butter. I didn't see.
For those who
you
know
know
what we're
what?
talking about, there was a man who ate a whole lobster on the New York subway, taking up many seats.
Yeah, like,
the
four
New York,
seats.
the New York Post article that it was in mentioned like 5 different times that like he was taking up a lot of seats. to do
Rightfully
this.
so, though. No one's going to
Hey.
sit in those seats. You got
mean,
shell
hey, like-
factor flowing out. You got shell allergies if you're allergic to shellfish. You got potentially butter
Lobster
on the
juice
train.
shooting around. Lobster juice smells.
Yeah. Also, that shit hits at a certain point. You get a little rattled a little bit. You
Smells
know,
good.
Depending on your opinion of seafood.
depending on where he
I
got
like
this.
the smell.
We also,
What's your guys' take on eating food in the subway?
I think it depends on what you're eating.
Absolutely. It does depend on what you're eating. If it's something quick,
Yeah.
Hot dog,
like a hot dog or
Oh,
a slice
yeah.
of pizza, I'll eat that before I touch anything.
burger.
Yeah.
But a lobster, you're not going to sit there and inhale a whole lobster. You got to break it apart.
Yeah.
There's multiple pieces to it. You're
Did
going
he
to
have
get
a
the
bib on?
juices.
Mm-mm.
No
Nah,
bib?
he had a coat on. He had his beard. He probably had all these lobster chunks in his beard.
That's for when he
Eating
gets
on the train.
Well, that's
Little
where he
snack
gets
for
where he gets
later.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, to answer your question, most things I would not eat on the train.
Churro, yes. You know what I
A
mean?
bag of potato chips, sure.
Pretzel, definitely.
I've definitely eaten a hoagie on the train before.
A bronzino, maybe.
Ew.
Nah, I'll play. Okay, that's like a big no-go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be getting bones. Ew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not me. I wouldn't. You know, I'm just saying.
I'll just
Pizza is
wait.
a little tough.
Yo,
If
but
it's a triangle slice, if it's a square slice, that's probably easier.
Also, a subway ride in Philadelphia is definitely less than New York City. So, you know.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
usually
you only have a
more
lot of time,
space.
unless you just want to go for a ride
Yeah,
from
that's
south
true.
to north and have a little snack on there. I don't know what you'd be. You don't have a lot of time to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it's definitely easier to eat on the train here because it's just not as crowded. Like it's hilarious
Yeah.
because the difference in because when I lived in New York, it would be like if there was like any seat open on the train, I'm getting to that seat. Like as long as my ass can fit, I'm sitting.
people don't play
I'm
that
sitting
around
down
here.
In Philly. It's like. Nah, like I'm not sitting next to anybody.
Yeah.
Because like most of the time you don't have to, so it's like like the 10% of the time I have to stand. Like fuck it, I'll just stand. But
Yeah.
it's like no,
you
I'm
don't
not.
be sitting
Like,
next
if
to
you-
people.
Not in Philly, no.
No, I don't
It's-
care. If there's a seat open, I'm
Maybe
sitting.
sometimes, but like I
usually-
mean, like the only time that's ever an issue is if I'm going to and from work, and it's only a few stops, so it's like whatever. Like I don't.
By the time
I
you
guess
get,
that's true. New York, those rides sometimes you're
Sometimes
on the
it's
train
like
for like
long,
25, 30
yeah.
minutes.
So it's
yeah.
like if there's like any space, then it's like I'm just fucking squeezing in there.
the
I don't
problem though,
care.
sitting on the subway though, is that when it does eventually get packed, when you're sitting down, then you get all the you know what I mean, you got people farting in your face and shit. You got, you know what I mean?
Dude, like once I remember, like the worst was I don't know if I've ever had this happen to me in Philly, but because like I don't have to ride the train like every day, but like when I live in New York, it's like I'd be riding the train like every single day, and every once in a while there'd be like the train would have to stop because of like some kind of like police incident further down the line or whatever.
Suicide.
And it would take so fucking long for the train to start up again, and like every once in a while you're just like you're just like holding on. There's like just people like everywhere. Like you have no room.
I don't like that.
You're just like standing like that for like a half hour.
People start getting a little antsy.
Yeah.
It's a bad energy to
Yeah.
be in a tube.
In that
underground.
Yeah.
in that situation, I would definitely not eat a lobster. I could tell you that.
Oh
much.
hell no!
No.
You'd have people sweat vapor
maybe
on your lobster.
maybe some shrimp.
Ooh. Without the shell or with shell still on?
Well, it'd have to be.
You can't eat
You have to
your
eat
shrimp
without-
with the shell on. I
mean,
guess
like,
you
I'm
can.
talking about
Yeah, I guess you can.
are you eating like peel and eat, or are you eating like
I'm
already
talking
peeled
about
shrimp?
like
I'm
yeah,
not
peel,
trying
just like ready to.
peel and
I'm
eat
talking
on
about
the
just
train.
I'm just,
Yeah,
putting,
just
I'm
ready
just
to
saying,
eat.
you know, we're
Yeah,
talking about
but-
shrimp the
but,
same.
yeah, if you had a little bag.
Shrimp is out of the question, but we're talking about lobster. Come on, I'm just saying, you know.
Lobster's out of the question too. Not for me.
Yeah,
Nope.
shrimp is more of a snack.
Yeah, you
If
can
you've
have
got a
you
few.
can have like a bag of little shrimps and.
I just
eat
want to
it.
limit the
You can't
amount of
do that
finger
with
food.
lobster.
I think you should try this soon in
I
Philadelphia.
think a
Just
corn
bring
dog
a
is
Ziploc
acceptable
bag
because you don't have
and
to
see what
hold the
happens.
food.
Yeah, you just hold the stick.
Right. I think it's all about the touching of the food that I have to eat on the subway. Corn
Yeah.
dog, pretzel with a
And
little bit of
touch
paper.
everything.
You know what I mean? Shrimp.
It's a lot of finger to
you're not
mouth
really touching
kind
the
of
shrimp because
stuff.
you're touching the shell, like the bottom part, the little
Yeah.
fin. You know what I
the
mean?
tail.
Yeah, so then you could get away with that. Shrimp, definitely. You would
Yeah,
not be the
if
most
you had the
popular
scar-
person,
yeah.
but
If you had like the kind of like I mean, the best would be like the sort of like fried like popcorn shrimp kind of thing.
Oh,
but
hell yeah. I like
that
the
you can
popcorn
just
shrimp.
yeah.
maybe some deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs. Like Subway. Hard boiled,
stinky.
dude.
Oh
You're
yeah.
gonna bust that out?
Then you get a seat every time.
Oh yeah.
Just the guy shoveling
You would get a
deviled
whole-
eggs
just
in your mouth?
What's
Yeah,
that?
You
no.
might-
Like
might get a whole
hard-boiled
cart.
eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sell them little travel cases
Yeah.
for eggs at least, not like deviled
Yeah.
egg cases, but they probably
Yeah.
do.
They do.
A little,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, some like bodegas or in convenience, you can get the little just like they just sell like hard boiled eggs.
Beer
You just get a couple
tacos would be
hard-boiled
tough.
eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not eating birria tacos, dipping them in the consomme. You ain't doing all that. Hell no.
Nah.
But hey, man,
One time I'm pretty sure I sat and pissed on the subway.
Ooh.
in
Yeah.
Philly, I'm sure you did.
I didn't
Have
see it. I didn't see it on the seat. And I sat down like, oh, my butt feels a little wet. And then I was like, what the fuck? And it was definitely piss.
Oh damn.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's life in the city, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Speaking of life in the city, we didn't recap the kickball game.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
shout out to the
The
P
P-tense.
tents, absolutely well-
aptly named for the man that just said he sat in pee on the train.
not in my tent, safe and sound. I was exposed to the elements. But the
Okay, I didn't know
P-tents, yeah, the P-tents defeated
The
toilet crushers.
The toilet crushers.
close game. I will
was a good
say.
game.
16-13.
Yo, shout out to everyone that came out. I think some of y'all are new listeners that we talked about the pod to on Sunday.
We did hand out some coasters, or sticker
nice.
coasters, so hopefully people will scan that code and like this. But yeah, man, the team, I will say, talk about adversity. We didn't really face much. We were ahead the whole game, so you know we had
If
a,
anything, my team started making a comeback.
they came back a little bit, but as a good, team and what we do, we stayed together, we stayed strong. Nobody was, doing inspirational quotes. We just kept drinking, staying loose, and playing good ball, good team ball. Except for that one time that I ran into Trevor, and we did have a bad play that way. But other
Yeah.
than that,
Oh, that was funny as hell.
Yeah, I kind of ate shit
it
there.
was like the three. No, that was on your own that you did that one.
Yeah, I think that
You
was
like
mostly
fell
my
backwards.
I like had it and then just yeah.
It's a good thing you're all healed up from
Any
hernia
home
surgery.
runs?
one from their team.
Not for me. The guy that batted ahead of me, yeah, he was killing it.
Yeah,
Brian,
yeah, the
he
guy
was
had a
killing
boot,
it.
man.
Yeah, Brian, he had a boot right
I had
there.
a couple of RBI doubles. I was playing good, except my error opened the floodgates. That's when y'all scored the go-ahead runs.
Yeah,
It was 2 outs. I robbed you on that
I
one
know. I was
play.
pissed. That was
And
a
then
boot
the next
too.
play, the ball comes right back to me, but that's after I'd been drinking a little Fireball. So I was a little buzzing. I could feel that Fireball rumbling in my tummy. And then I went to go catch the ball, and it just bounced in front of me, and then it bounced over my head.
That's when we
And then
got
a
it
couple
going.
runs scored, and then after that, they scored a few more runs.
Damn.
Ended up being the difference of the game. We lost by 3.
Bottom of the ninth came about.
Do you guys play with the bigger ball? Is it like
Yeah.
okay,
Just
yeah.
a big bouncy
I
ball.
played
Yeah.
with that one before. It's like so awkward and you're like catching it like this.
Well,
You're like,
not that
Not
big.
like the huge
Oh.
one.
It's like
Yeah.
a regulation
Just
size
standard
kickball.
size kickball.
But it also
Okay,
has like a
okay.
little bit of like a bubble to it, so it's a little bit lopsided.
yeah, it's like not fully inflated.
No, it's fully inflated, but it's
Oh.
almost like
It's-
too
it
inflated. 'cause
bounces weird.
It has like a,
Okay.
it's like an egg shape almost.
Is this
a
through
little
like
bit.
the Philadelphia
This is
Heyday,
just us
or no?
playing,
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, we know there's like other leagues,
Yeah.
but we just do it recreationally. I don't think other leagues will allow us to drink and have picnics.
Yeah,
Maybe
I-
they would.
I picked off somebody.
Heyday Philly's pretty chill like that. but-
Okay.
Bottom of the ninth, I missed somebody coming down the first base line. Then the second time someone came down, I got her pretty good, got her out. And then some cat tried stealing second off me while I had the ball, and I picked him off to end the game.
Yeah, my man,
said, "Not
Jamie, I
today."
think it was. Jamie
Quick.
was a little aggressive.
Fast around the bases, but I said, not today. We're ending this game right here. But it was fun. Me and Hannah Galdeep were talking shit a little bit before the game. That's how we built this up. So we
Nice.
both were captains, and the P10s got it done.
Yeah,
People on the team didn't know what a P10 was, so I had to educate everybody.
that was
first,
funny as
but-
hell.
Oh.
Yeah.
I peed in one of those recently.
In a P10.
Yeah, but I've never done it before. That was my first time.
I had a picture. We were like, look at
Yeah.
this. Yeah, right there.
Interesting experience for sure.
Yeah.
What
Smelly.
was it? A bucket?
It
What was the vessel?
right into the grate.
Oh,
It was actually, I was like,
that's a good
Oh,
spot.
that's what's up. That's
a good
smart.
spot.
Yeah.
That's a rare pick right there.
It's a very
Yeah.
strategically placed P10.
Yeah.
yeah, this wasn't the girls' first tailgate.
Nice. Well, it's very hard to find a grate in a parking lot, but that's good. That's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah,
spot.
that's
That's
a
like a
very
premier-
sought after spot. Yeah.
Big time. You can dump a lot of shit in that grate. Okay, but yeah, it's crazy. That's a good spot.
Damn, I wonder if anyone ever does a number 2 down there.
I would try.
Oh,
You gotta hope that it's like a solid lock, because then you get a straight and narrow. But if it misses a little bit, then you gotta. You can't kick it.
I wasn't going that far.
What?
Man.
You open up Pandora's box.
Ugh.
I would try.
Yeah.
Of late,
Yeah,
I've been having pretty
You're
solid
not,
stools.
okay, you're a number 3 or 4 on the Bristol stool scale. Okay,
I've been having some pretty.
good. You've been eating that fiber, drinking that water. Good for you.
It's been. Yeah, I don't need to get too much into detail, but we're flowing.
It's good to hear.
good gut.
But never in the P tent.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Nope.
like a
Nope.
a red flag.
No pooping in the potty.
Yeah.
None of that.
We got time yet or no? What
I
time
think we're
it is?
pretty much. Yeah, we're at like an hour 30.
Okay, all right. We can
Probably
call
wrap
it
this
then.
up. That'll just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. What?
Ask Kelly if she has anything to plug.
Oh,
Yeah. Where can people find?
Yeah, what do you got to plug? We talked about Gaelic football.
I'll plug the team. My team. It's the Notre Dame's Ladies Gaelic Football Club. We practice in Fairmount and we play up in Limerick, PA. I'm pretty sure you could go to philadelphiagaa.com for seeing all the other teams if you're a male or female or non-binary. You could play still. And then I just want to also plug the South Philadelphia Food Fridges because that was an organization I got involved with during COVID. You can clean a fridge, you can stock it, you can pick up food and stock it. You can be involved as little or as much as you want, and I think it's a great organization. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you.
Nice.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for joining
thanks
us.
for having me.
You may not have contributed too much to the sports talk, but that's okay because you contributed greatly to everything else, and we'd love to have you again.
Cool. Nice. Thanks.
Oh yeah. Follow TikTok,
Now you
Twitter.
can wrap us up.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You know all the sites. We're on all the sites. From all of us here at the Citywide. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Go Birds.